Hey, what's up? Welcome to Art 209, Creative Concepts and Copywriting. My name is Meg Lennon, and I'll be your instructor for the semester. And I'm so excited that you're here. We are absolutely going to hit the ground running. But first, I wanted to take the time to introduce myself and call out a few important things from the syllabus. That way we can all start off on the right foot. So over the course of the semester, I will be getting to know you through your work, our discussions, and exchanges. So I thought it would be good for you to get to know me too. So like I said, my name is Meg Lennon. Outside of teaching, I'm currently an associate creative director on the copywriting side at an agency called AKQA, which is based in San Francisco. I am currently located in Virginia Beach, however. And my primary client there is Apple, and alongside with working for them and, working on their website and everything, I also manage a team of some really phenomenal writers, and I help with our recruiting efforts. So it's a really nice mix of both management as well as like actual execution and work. I've been a copywriter for about 9 years, so you can trust when I give you feedback. I know what I'm talking about. My journey started in college. I went to Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida, and then I graduated in 2014. So after about 90 applications, I landed my first internship turned job at an agency in Philadelphia called Allen & Gerritsen. And there I had the opportunity to work alongside some fantastic mentors and clients, and I did so much work. I made TV commercials for hot dogs, super exciting. And then I also made social ads for the likes of Yingling and Comcast Xfinity and a few others. And to this day, I actually even have work in the Philadelphia Museum of Art, which is pretty cool. That was a really fun project. And then in 2017, so fast forward a few years, I moved down to the 757 Norfolk area to join a local agency called Grow, and I joined as their first ever copywriter, which was pretty cool. And then at Grow, I really leveled up. I grew as a writer. I worked on projects with really big clients. So Google, Spotify, Adidas, Don Julio, Pinterest, Adult Swim, one of my favorite clients ever. They're so cool and funny, and Lululemon, among a lot of others. So my focus slowly became digital advertising and online experience. So a lot of what I do revolves around the internet. And then in April 2021, I moved on from Grow to join AKQA, and here I've also had the opportunity just to work alongside some phenomenal creatives, both at Apple and at AKQA. And even after like 9 years in the industry, I really do still feel like I'm learning something new every day. So just very lucky to be where I am. And then fast forward to last year, some fine folks from TCC reached out. This was around the time the previous instructor of this class, Sue Faye, retired, and so they asked me if I would like to give teaching a go. So last semester was my first time teaching this course and teaching officially. I've done a lot of mentorship and coaching and stuff throughout the years. So it went well. It wasn't perfect. There were, some bumps along the way, but I did learn a lot. And at the end of the semester, my students provided a lot of great feedback so I could make it better for you. And they gave me really great insights and suggestions that I'm going to try implementing this semester to make the asynchronous aspect of this class a little bit easier, as that was their kind of main point of feedback, both good and bad. And just to be totally transparent, I would prefer if this class was in fact in person, or at least done via Zoom, so we would have a little bit more of a chance to communicate and get to know each other. And I always find it easier to work with somebody if you kind of understand their personality, right? Obviously, being totally online and asynchronous was not my first choice. However, between my work schedule and also the course schedule that you are in right now, there wasn't a time that actually matched up for us to even be able to meet on a consistent weekly basis. So So I kind of forced my hand. So here we are, totally online. And we are going to be covering a lot of material in a short period of time over the next few weeks. So I want to make sure that you do feel supported, even though we're not meeting consistently. So a few things. I'm super flexible when it comes to office hours. If you need something, you have a question, you're stuck, you need feedback during the group projects, if you run into an issue, please hit me up. We can set up a Zoom chat or a phone call really quickly just to talk things out. I find that always helps. Now, this was a great suggestion from a student last semester. I'm going to set up a few optional, not required, not graded, Zoom calls throughout the semester. And that'll give us the chance to talk and get to know each other. And these might be, reviewing the work or sharing feedback peer to peer, or even just kind of discussions and talking about what's going on in the class. So I will share a little bit more details once I've finalized kind of how those will work and the cadence, like when they're going to show up in the semester, and I'll share that in a later announcement, so look out for that. Now that you know me a little bit, I wanted to call out a few key elements in your syllabus. Now, I am expecting you to go through and read the syllabus. There's some important information there. If I had to choose 3 main things that were very important, these are it. So the first one being, I do not accept late work. I do not grade late work. You only are allowed to submit work via Canvas. I don't accept emailed work, especially not after the fact. So, when you graduate and you start a job, you're gonna have deadlines. And if you don't meet those deadlines, there are consequences. And in the case of this class, that consequence is a 0 grade, okay? So please turn in your work on time. And now, I'm not totally heartless, I promise. There's one exception to this rule. I will allow extensions, but only if you contact me before the assignment's due date. I know that life happens, and I know we get sick, or accidents happen, or the pet gets into something they shouldn't have, or there's so many things that can get in the way of our well-intended plans. But I don't know what I don't know, and my time is precious. So is yours. So let's not waste it, okay? I grade as a group. I try to kind of make it easy on myself, and I set aside a few hours, and I go through and I provide you feedback. But if your work is not there as I'm going through and grading, you're going to get a 0, especially if I have not heard from you beforehand. So please, just work with me. Over communication is key here. Give me that heads up. And 99.999% of the time, I am going to be more than happy to work with you and give you an extension and allow you to still get the full grade without even any missing points. But if you come to me after the fact, after the due date, I'm not going to be so nice. Okay, so let's just respect each other's time here and make sure that communication is always open. You can hit me up, please do. All right, I don't like being stern, so the second one is a little bit nicer. So, all right, the second highlight kind of ties into this. What is the schedule? What's expected of me on a weekly basis? What you are gonna be looking at every single week, it's gonna be the exact same thing, all right? So here's what's gonna look like. Every Monday at 6 a.m., the current module, that week's module, will unlock. And that means you have access to everything in there. And then you can kind of work at your own pace. So Tuesday and Wednesday, work at your own pace. And then your first deliverable of 2, your first deliverable each week is the discussion contribution. So this is your post, your discussion post, as well as you're going to have to reply to a classmate. Okay, so both your discussion contribution, your post, and your reply are both due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. before the clock strikes midnight. That's kind of your first thing on your plate. And then you're gonna have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend to work at your own pace. Your second deliverable will be any other assignment. So there will be quizzes coming up. There will be individual projects, some kind of like activities and scavenger hunt type things. There will be group projects. All of those you can expect to be due on the following Monday at 11:59 p.m. That's kind of what you can expect for that weekly schedule, all right? And again, same every single week. There should be no reason for you to be unclear about when anything is due because it's gonna be the same. I set it up so it's easy for you, it's easy for me. And if you are unsure, if holidays come up or whatever, please ask. But in the event that I do need to change the due dates, I will give you very well in advance notice. Cool. So the last highlight from the syllabus that I did want to call out are some resources as well as tools that I think you're going to find helpful. So on the first page of your syllabus under material and tools, there's some recommendations for free software that can help with the creation of your project. I highly recommend getting comfortable with Google Slides and Google Docs, and they allow you to collaborate with others in real time. So that will be super important once we get to those group projects, okay? And of course, you're totally allowed to use the Adobe suite. So if you like Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, or whatever design program, you're totally welcome to use those. And all of this is just a recommendation, okay? I really don't care what program you use. You can use whatever you want. The important part is that you have to submit a PDF. Okay, so all of your projects that aren't just like written in on Canvas, you have to submit a PDF. So just make sure that whatever program you're using, it's just very easy for you to do that. Okay, so double check that before you're submitting, but PDF format, it's key. So the other part of this, so those were kind of like the tools, are resources for inspiration. So as we go through the course, I'm going to be talking a lot about different types of advertisements, and I'll provide examples, and there's really great examples in your book as well. However, that is also outdated. It's from 2013. I'm providing examples, trying to be as up to date as possible with the learning materials, but there's always new stuff out there. So I have on page 5 of your syllabus a list of links that will help you out and kind of see what's happening in the world, especially in the advertising industry. So there's links to trade publications like Adweek, Ad Age, Communication Arts. There's award shows. So they have collections of the previous winners and the campaigns and all of that. And that you'll find D&AD, Canes, Webby, The Drum, The Clio. And then there is specifically copywriting portfolios from both professionals and students on Modern Copywriter, which is a blog. And then if you want like maybe a little bit more engagement or conversations or have questions for people or whatever, you could join some of the local communities and national communities around. Like we have local chapters of the UXPA, which is the User Experience Professionals Association or whatever. And then there's AIGA, I forget what that acronym is for, but it's all about design and stuff. There's the UX Writing Hub, which was great for digital writing. We'll get into that later in the semester. And there's Copy Hackers if you're really interested in copywriting. On Reddit, there's R Copywriting. I'm sure there's R Graphic Design. Tiny Words Matter is a great Twitter account that posts some really great examples of microcopy and other UX digital copy. There's the Content Writing and Copywriting Forum on Facebook. There's the Advertising Copywriting Group on LinkedIn. So a ton of communities out there. If you have questions or you want to see what's trending or what people are looking at and finding inspirational, a ton of links there. So that will help get you started. And I'm sure there's plenty more that I did not include. Those are kind of the 3 things that I really wanted to highlight before we dive in, but I do want you to take the time, familiarize yourself with the syllabus, go through it in detail, make sure that you're clear on my expectations. There's obviously the kind of standard TCC admin stuff in there too. So if you have questions, that might help point you in the right direction or have the answer in there. So all of that just really helps us stay on the same page again throughout the semester. So that's all I've got for you right now. Again, I would just love to say welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm really genuinely so stoked to see what you do and what you write and how you grow over the semester as a creative. So now let's get into Module 1 and have an awesome week. Cheers.